So we're making that human connection. It's about making a human connection. That tour is. It's not about the house. I had a client tell me that the last realtor who came here told me she didn't want to walk the house with me. She just wanted to walk through it and see it and then sit down with me. Well, I understand that, right? She knew that if she walked the house with the client, it was going to take longer. She didn't want to take that time. I got the listing because the client wanted to talk about her house. So that worked for me. But don't be that other agent, right? So just take the time to make that human connection and make them want to work with you. So I find something to compliment. I always find something to compliment, even if it's the different swatches and that they were going to think about painting their living room 2 years ago and decided not to and still have splotches all over their walls. And also one of my favorite lines is, if you could wave your magic wand and move whenever you want to, when would that be? I work that in somewhere while I'm walking through the property. So if you could wave your magic wand and move whenever you wanted to, what day would that be? Because a lot of times you ask people when they're moving, they're like, I don't know, sometime between now and next December 25th. And you're like, okay, great. So between now and Christmas, but what does that mean? You can't advise them very well then. But when they say, oh, well, ideally, I guess it would be before the end of June, so we get the kids settled before school starts, and then before our summer vacation. Okay, now you have like some very clear timeline, right? Does that make sense? And then learn what motivates them and why they're moving and how do they make those decisions. So that's the other part of that's not included in Ford, but it's motivation. So that's kind of the dream, I guess. And how do they make decisions? Does that make sense? That's all getting relationship. How many of you are already doing all that? Okay, several of you. I encourage you guys to spend that time making that human connection. And this is what I was just saying. I'm noting anything that's an important feature. I'm noting any repairs that need to be made. And again, I'm not saying it out loud until after we've talked pricing, usually, or right when we're talking pricing. I'm also not talking pricing during this walkthrough. I'm going to say that again. Pricing goes when we're sitting at the table, after I've explained to them why they can trust me on their pricing. They don't know that they can trust my pricing of their house until I've explained to them the marketing that I do and what I think their house, how to market their particular house. So I'm not talking about that, and I'll tell them that. People ask me all the time, oh, what do you think it's worth, or how do you think it compares to the neighborhood, or whatever, and I can say it's a very nice house. This is right in line with the neighborhood, or this is a little bit nicer than the neighborhood. It's great, whatever that is. But I'm not going to talk to them. And this is not a $450,000 house when we're walking, right? We want to make sure that it goes in the right place. So the non-negotiables to learn on this tour. I'm spending a lot of time on this tour, you guys. It is super important. I can't emphasize enough how important that is. Who are they? How can I relate to them? And how can I best serve them? It's important to know their timing to be able to best serve them. It's important to know why they're moving to best serve them. Sometimes people aren't going to tell you. Has anybody ever had a seller in a financial situation who hasn't told you they're in a financial situation, and maybe you didn't figure it out until you were at the closing table and realized they had like $5 and they had HOA dues, back dues for a year and a half, and they hadn't paid their mortgage in 6 months? And you didn't know that till closing? I can tell you I've had that. Sometimes you can infer some financial difficulty, but they're not always going to tell you that. But knowing that there's some inkling of financial situation can help figure out how to price the house too, can it? If you have a client in a financial difficulty and you know they have 120 days till foreclosure, does that have you price a house differently than you would if they had all the time in the world? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you, that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.